There's a certain thrill that comes with the promise of a new stone. Today that promise begins with a rough piece of aquamarine, clear, pale, and unassuming, yet holding within it its potential for beauty. At this point in my faceting journey, the most exciting thing is the unknown. Cutting a piece of rough with no plans, no diagram, just the stone and my geometric ideas to guide me. I take the stone to my wheel to first remove any holes and inclusions, but then define the shape that's hiding inside. Eventually I get to a free-form shape that I like, something unique and that has a nice asymmetrical balance, something fluid and candy-like. I've been cutting in this improvised style for about 4 years now, and I'd like to think that I've become pretty good at it. I can cut all the standard styles and all the standard shapes with no diagrams, making adjustments of the facet angles and indices along the way as needed. My hands know the rhythm of this work, but for the last year and a half I've been learning an entirely new dance. I switched from my familiar handpiece faceting machine to a French-made jam peg machine, a tool from another era, a tool that demands instinct over precision. On my modern machine, I can cut perfection. Here, perfection is replaced by improvisation and the pull of intuition. I proceed through the crown of the stone, building a map in angles and index positions to make the brilliant pattern fit onto this jelly bean. The laps turn, the water runs, the facets emerge one by one. I try to listen to the stone, to let its shape and feel guide me. I move from the preforming lap to the cutting lap to the polishing lap. The polishing lap needs care and preparation, scoring this blend of lead and tin, and then adding my homemade diamond slurry so that it can make the facets of my stone shine and dance. Slowly the stone does just that, with each facet emerging from its hazy gloom into glorious, shining light. One by one, I go around and polish each facet of the crown, letting the reflections emerge. Finally, I move to the wood lap to polish the girdle. The jam peg is not about strict angles and formulas. It's about the conversation between the cutter and the crystal. But conversations can go wrong. The pavilion of this stone is the true mystery. I have some new ideas that I'd like to try, but I don't exactly know how to build the pattern. So through the process of trial and error, I eventually get to a pattern that I think might give interesting reflection symmetry and light return. I cut and polish all the facets, including a curved culet facet that I polish on the wood lap. When I finish the stone and lift it from the alcohol, I'm unsure how my creation has turned out. Outside in the sunlight, the truth is hard to ignore. I turn it in my fingers, watching the light slip through the facets instead of bouncing, dancing, and flashing the way I had imagined. The reflections are dull and a bit lifeless in places. On my modern machine, I could have achieved precisely what I wanted, but here, I'm chasing something else, something emotional, something unpredictable, and sometimes unpredictability stings. I stare at it for a while. I could leave it as it is, imperfect, a lesson in humility, but the craftsman in me won't allow it. I decide to put it back on the dopstick and change it, just to add a few more facets, a little more fire. Perhaps I can invoke a little more life into it. Back at the machine, I lean in close, adjusting by instinct. The jam peg demands that I feel the angle, that I trust my eyes more than the numbers. New facets bloom across the pavilion, catching the light in new ways. This is the part I love, the chance to rewrite the stone's story. When I finish polishing the new facets, I take it outside once more. Now the sunlight strikes it with more purpose. The flashes are sharper, the reflection more alive, the color more intense. It's better, not perfect, and still not the vision I had in mind, but closer. This stone has humbled me. It's reminded me that mastery is never complete, that even after more than a decade at the grinding wheel, the work can still surprise me. On the jam peg, there's no hiding behind precision. It's all judgment, instinct, and risk. Sometimes the stone bends to your will, sometimes it refuses. This one fought me, and in the end, it taught me more than it gave me. Thanks for watching.